I don't even know if you can see me. There I am. Okay, the lighting fixed. So, I'm doing flea markets today, and I decided to bring you along. And the goal of this video is that I'm not going to end this video until I add something to my Nancy Drew collection, because I have been collecting the old Nancy Drew books and it's been so fun and such a treasure hunt. So I thought it'd be fun to do a little vlog of said treasure hunt. It may not all take place in the same day, but it will all be in the same video. So also, if you notice the difference in video quality, it's because I feel weird pulling out my actual camera in public places, and so a lot of this will probably be filmed on my phone, but hopefully you're chill with that. Hopefully that's okay. We're at our first stop, and I'm really excited because I've been to this flea market before and I really like it. It's a really good one, so I have high hopes. Okay, first I went to Among Friends, which is a flea market in my area that I love. Lots of CDs, weird little knickknacks, as usual. That's what you're going to see at a flea market, you know. These pins were really cool. I was really tempted to buy several of these, but I told myself that I was only here for books, and so I let them stay there for the time being. Maybe I'll go back and grab some on another day. There were a lot of books at this flea market. There was also this giant, like, human-sized cage with a stuffed penguin in it for $100. That was apparently on sale. But back to books, we have a lot of just piles of books here, and that's usually a good sign. If you see just like a conglomerate of books just on the floor, you want to look through all of those. I did find this Full House book that I considered getting, but I thought it was a little off target, so I left it there. In this booth, I thought it was going to be pretty promising. No Nancy's to be seen, but I did find an Anne of Green Gables book to add to my paperbacks collection of those, and I was very pleased with that. I think I spent $1 on this because it was on sale, so that was nice. And then this is another flea market now, and they had all these National Geographic magazines, which was cool. Here's the first Hardy Boys find of the day. I found several of these, and typically I think Hardy Boys books are easier to find. Here's some Junie B. Jones that I was also tempted to buy because I grew up on those and I loved them, but I left them there for someone else. I also came across this cool Sears catalog from 1909. Apologies if you can hear my dogs. They are going wild. But anyway, this catalog was pretty cool. I considered buying it, but then I realized that I would probably only look through it once or twice, and then it would sit on a shelf for who knows how long, and I just decided that I would leave it. This booth is usually pretty promising for me when it comes to books. Typically, this booth has like sci-fi, western, and children's books that are more geared towards boys. So I did find, yes, you guessed it, more Hardy Boys books. Okay, just got out of the second place behind us over there, and I found some old sci-fi books, War of the Worlds and The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, which I've never read, but I've seen War of the Worlds, the movie. And in the first one, I showed you the Anne of Green Gables book, the 7th in the series, that I found, which matches my paperback collection that I'm still kind of piecing together because I found like bits and pieces of it. Anyways, no Nancy Drew stuff, lots of Hardy Boys stuff. I feel like that's easier to find a lot of times. And you can kind of tell when you walk into a flea market, like book booth where it's specifically books, you can kind of tell when it's more geared towards women or more geared towards men. And most of the ones in this particular flea market were boy books, I guess you could say. So lots of sci-fi, westerns, Stephen King, all things that women can enjoy too. I'm not saying anything controversial, but I'm just saying I know what I'm looking for, and I know when I see it. On to the next market. This one is one that I had not been to before, but I really enjoyed it. They did have a lot of books. It was, however, mostly like modern fiction and some romance novels here and there. I did find these bookends for $25, which was such a steal. I've been looking for bookends forever. And also, shocker, I found the Hardy Boys. Apparently it's not that hard to find the Hardy Boys around here. Not a single Nancy book anywhere, not even a modern printing, but I did find this robot. Not really sure what that was about, but I thought I should include it for fun because maybe y'all will know what's up here. Sorry if you can hear my air conditioning. It's much too hot to not have it on. So went to the third place. Did not find any Nancy Drew books. Again, found Hardy Boys. That's just gonna be my luck today, I guess. But I did find bookends, which I have been looking for ages. And every time I've found some, they have been completely out of my price range. But these were only $25. So I feel like I kind of got a steal because they're really hard to find. And we have a lot of random like duck themed things in our house, so it like goes with that. I don't know why we have so many things with ducks on them, but it's starting to get really cute and I'm kind of a fan of it, so I'm pretty happy about that. But now I'm at Salvation Army and we're gonna see what they got. Wish me luck. Salvation Army unfortunately did not have anything that I was willing to purchase on this day. It did have Stephen King's It, which I almost got, but it was a little warped, so I wasn't sold on it. Yes, you did see the Hardy Boys. That is correct. This is a different place called the Bargain Box, and I was really, really hoping that I would find a Nancy here because they had a lot of children's books. I did find this Full House book, which was really cute looking. Again, considered getting that, but there would be no reason for me to own that book. I did see these dishes that were really cool. Watermelon's a big thing for me right now. If you know, you know. So Salvation Army and the other thrift store that I just went to were both a bust. Didn't find anything in there, but now I'm at Goodwill, so hopefully I'll find something there. If I don't find anything there, I think I'll only make like 1 or 2 more stops because it's almost lunchtime and I'm honestly running out of energy pretty darn fast. So I'll keep you updated, but we might be almost done for the day. Here we are at Goodwill, me and my red Converse. Hello. This was a waste of my time. Coming to this Goodwill was a waste of my time. I do love this Goodwill typically, but not for books. This was cute though. Had to show you that. But yeah, pretty much a fail for the day. But I did go to this other place, Rusty Rooster. It was my first time there. It was really big inside. Like, there were so many booths in here. There was this really weird, creepy guy that I had to show you. He was $24. And then I did find more bookends, and they were both ducks too, which I thought was really funny. But it's very clear to me that I got a good deal and the best set. I did see these Goosebumps books, which was really tempting because I have also wanted to collect these in the past, but I figured one collection at a time. Speaking of one collection at a time, I did get this book to add to my Anne of Green Gables series. Hey, first Nancy of the day, but it's the Clue Crew, so left that. There were also these, but they were modern printings, and they were way too expensive for the modern printings. I would never spend $5 on one of those because they're so easy to find. So it was kind of a bust, but that's okay. All right, y'all. No Nancy's today, but I did get lunch and a couple of other random books that I've shown you already, so the video's not over. I'll see you on another day, though. Okay, bye. All right, second flea market trip. This time I'm in Central Arkansas, so I've got a little bit of a different area to explore, which is very fun. These are kind of my stomping ground flea markets where I used to go all the time. I found this little group of CDs I'm very excited about. Very nostalgic compilation albums, those were. Lots of children's books at this particular flea market. Nothing that really sparked my interest. There was this copy of the Nancy Drew Diaries, which is a spin-off series that I'm not collecting at the moment, so I decided to leave that for somebody else. And here's a tip for all of you parents out there. If you're looking for children's books, I recommend that you don't buy them new and go ahead and visit your local flea markets, because you are bound to find plenty of used children's books that are in just fine condition. And you don't need pristine condition children's books for your kids, because they're probably going to tear them up anyway. Just a tip. I also found these guys, which I don't think they need any further comment. Just look at them. I also found another Full House book, which I didn't realize these were so popular, but I guess they are. Who knew? Another day, another thrift trip, flea market trip. I'm in Conway today working, so I figured on my way home I would stop at a couple flea markets. I just got out of my first one, which you've already seen clips of. No Nancy's, except for the spin-off that I'm not collecting. But I did find some CDs, some compilation albums, which is always fun, because when I drive my long commutes to work, I like to have a little bit of variety in my music. So I found a 60s compilation album and a set of Radio Disney CDs from like the early 2000s. So I'm all set. I don't need music. I don't need any more music forever. So I'm excited about those. I spent $3.50 or something like that. And got all of that music, so I'm pumped. But I'm gonna go, I think, to one more place before I leave town and hope that there's some Nancy's there. If not, the video continues. But if I find some stuff, I'll be happy. Lo and behold, the first thing I picked up when I walked into this flea market was Secret of the Old Clock, a blue tweed cover copy, which I am so thrilled about. This one is from around the 1953 time period. And you can tell because it has 25 chapters, which means it's the original text, and because of the blue tweed cover. Those were only published, I think, between 1951 and 1961. So that's a pretty cool fun fact for you. Obviously, we're seeing more of the Hardy Boys. That's a no-brainer. Here's the Hidden Staircase. I think this one was probably published around the late 60s, something like that. That's usually when the matte yellow covers were published. Here's more children's books. There were some Trixie Beldens up there, which were some that I read off and on as a kid, but not as consistently as the Nancy series, obviously. More children's books. If you saw the Canterwood Crest series up there, I also used to read those, and I was obsessed with them for a while. They have major horse girl energy, so I don't know how I got into those, but hey, they're fun. Here's another Secret of Shadow Ranch copy. This one is probably like late 80s to early 2000s. And more Hardy Boys. Surprise, surprise. Those are so easy to find. But yeah, I've been successful. I found my Nancy. So I'm going to give you a quick little tour of my Nancy series, and then I'm going to end the video. Good morning, everyone. It is the next day, and I'm going to give you a little tour of my Nancy Drew collection as it stands right now. I'll start with the original yellow matte covers, and then I'll go into the paperbacks. I will end with the one that I got yesterday, which you've already seen, but I'll show you more of it, okay? So first in my collection, we have Secret of the Old Clock. This one was probably late 60s based on the back cover. It is the revised edition, so it has 20 chapters in it. This is Hidden Staircase, probably around the same time, a revised edition. We got a little name in there. One of my favorite things about collecting these is that there's often a name of the person who owned it before, and I think that is so wholesome and cute and just makes me feel connected with the girls of my past, you know. The Bungalow Mystery. This one is probably a little bit earlier than the last two based on the back cover. We have Nancy with the tree instead of the cipher. I'm pretty sure this one would have been, let's see, maybe early 60s. Here's their list of titles in the front here. The Moon Castle Mystery is the last one they list. So whenever the Moon Castle Mystery came out is probably around the time that this one was published. But I'm really happy about this cover. It took me a long time to find this cover at an affordable price, but I'm happy with it. Mystery at the Lilac Inn. I found out recently that this is one of the few books that was revised and like very heavily rewritten. Like the original text is apparently very different than the revised. So I would love to find the original text of this one because I've never read that version. Number 5 is Secret of Shadow Ranch. I really like this cover, and it's one that I have not seen often. My battery is flashing red, so I might have to switch to my phone. I'm sorry. But this one's definitely early 60s looking like. Secret of Redgate Farm. I just got this one in. Again, looking like maybe late 60s for this one. Here's the end pages. Clue in the Diary is probably older. It doesn't have anything on the back, so I feel like that means it's older. Here's the end pages. Very cool. Let's see if it's revised or not. It probably is. Yeah, it's a revised one. Now we're skipping ahead to number 18, Mystery at the Moss-Covered Mansion, which I don't think I've ever read, but I'm excited to have it. The Secret of the Golden Pavilion. Here's the back cover. I've never seen this back cover before, so I don't know how that dates it, but there's the end pages. The Clue in the Old Stagecoach. Again, they show the Nancy Drew cookbook on the back. I think that this one, based on the number in the top corner, I think that this one's probably like mid-70s. And then we have The Invisible Intruder. Probably late 60s based on the back end pages. So those are all the hardcovers that I have, except for the one that I got yesterday. And now moving on to the paperbacks, which started to be published in 1979. 57, which is the first paperback edition. Got some names in there. 1981 is when this was owned. Susan, if that's your phone number, I'm sorry I just shared it on the internet, but there's the inside. I really like the paperback covers a lot. I think they're cool and very colorful, which is fun. Next one I have is number 91, which I think is one of my favorite covers of the paperback so far. The Girl Who Couldn't Remember. The Secret at Solaire, which I continuously misread as Solitaire for some reason. I love the color of this book. The Suspect in the Smoke. The Riddle in the Rare Book. And then we move into spin-offs. So these I just came across and decided to get because they were cheap. Here's A Race Against Time, Nancy Drew Girl Detective. I think I did read this one when I was young. And then I found the Nancy Drew Files number 110, Hidden Meanings. Very cool. So then yesterday, The Secret of the Old Clock. This one I think is probably 1953. I posted it in a Facebook group that I'm in for Nancy Drew collectors. And they were telling me that it's most likely looking like 1953 based on the blue tweed cover, the end pages, and the book right here, the book titles here. Because The Ringmaster's Secret, which is the last one they list, was published around 1953. So that's probably when this was published. But I'm excited to read this version because it has the 25 chapters. I wish it would focus. There we go. So it's going to be a little different than I remember it, which is so fun. I'm so excited. So that's my collection. And I think I have one being shipped to me today, which will bring my collection to, I don't even know how many. I think I have like 20 now. I didn't even count, but that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know because it was really fun. So yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.